violence, breaking the silence. It's not a topic of everyday conversation, but today we're going to talk about it. Domestic abuse impacts everyone. It doesn't matter what color you are or how much money you have. On average, nearly 20 people per minute are physically abused by an intimate partner in the United States. One woman shares her story about a relationship 20 years ago that almost ended her life. Let's start from the very beginning. What was your relationship like when you met your boyfriend?
We met out one night. It was fun. We hung out. We moved in together relatively quickly.
So when did your relationship change?
There was impatience, there was jealousy, those sorts of things. So I can't really remember necessarily the first time that he hit me.
Was there anything that made you go, aha, something's wrong, before he even hit you? Was he like mentally abusive too?
Just lots of put downs, lots of jealousy, questioning where I went or what I did, questioning who I was.
Did you personally just try to hide it, or what?
Yes.
What did you do to hide it?
Not go to work if I would have bruises. A lot of times he hid it in the sense of he wouldn't necessarily hit me about my head or face. My family didn't know I was in this relationship. I didn't want law school to know. I didn't want my work to know. I did leave at one point when I was studying for the bar exam. I left and moved in with my sister for a while. So I thought about leaving then, but I ultimately went back. You know, there's lots of threats if I didn't come back, how I would be destroyed or how I'd be hurt. I graduated from law school then in 2003 and got a job in Stearns County. He moved up there with me, and it was at that point things escalated before that, and things really escalated once we moved up there. I had told my friend, let's see, probably a couple months before that, that if I didn't show up for work, that she should call and get somebody there because something bad had probably happened. I often would leave and go stay in my office because I could get in after hours. I had a bag packed there. I knew he couldn't get in there. So I went back to my apartment. He was asleep then on the couch, and then it would have been the next morning. He woke up, came into the room, and I just thought he was going to go to sleep. And he didn't. At that point, he beat me for about 2.5 hours with hands, objects, strangled me, bound me, blindfolded me. I was beaten really to the point of being unrecognizable, even to myself. You know, I tried to sound like everything was fine. Yep. And she said, "Are you okay?" And I said, "Nope." And then it was probably, I don't know, less than 10 minutes later that there was detectives then knocking at my door. He didn't stop beating me then. There was still belts. There was a studded belt that he beat me with, and then he ultimately answered the door with a belt in his hand.
If they hadn't showed up, what do you think would have happened to you?
Oh, I wouldn't be sitting here. He wouldn't have stopped. I know he wouldn't have stopped. I had a severe concussion, ruptured eardrum, and then just severe bruising. Took a long time for the bruising to heal. You know, I had kept this really big secret for many, many years, and now it really could have easily been front page news. I was prosecuting domestic violence cases at that time, and now all of a sudden I'm a victim of domestic violence. My office had no idea that I was living in that circumstance until my colleague, of course, told them. The healing of my face and my bruises was infinitely easier than the healing of my mind and my spirit. That took more time. So I sought out therapy and dealt with the impact of trauma that I had. I choose to stand in my story, own it as who I am, and part of where I'm going.
Heidi's boyfriend at the time served 6 months in jail. Meanwhile, Heidi has moved on with her life. She continues to practice law and is now with the Hennepin County Attorney's Office. She shares her story in hopes of helping others to heal. Domestic violence is a crime that is shrouded in secrecy. No one ever wants to admit that they're an abuser. Today, one man shares his shame and effort to become a better man.
Hello, Miss Sandy.
35-year-old Marshawn Green is grateful to have a job. He works with Minneapolis Mad Dad's outreach program,
This is our last and final call.
assisting those in need.
Like witnessing so many people all over the city of the homelessness people that are hopeless.
It's giving him a new perspective on his own life and his dark past.
I just don't like the feeling. It eats at my conscience daily.
Marshawn has been in a relationship with his girlfriend for about 15 months. At one point, things turned rocky.
Yeah, it started out with arguments that eventually we would distance ourselves. You would go on the porch and I'd go in the room.
He says stress from losing a home and a job took a toll on the relationship.
It still doesn't justify the behavior.
Soon the arguing intensified.
She's venomous with that mouth and she's upset. And I couldn't take it. And there's no excuse for my behavior as a man. Just getting attacked in such an aggressive manner verbally. I swung a few times.
He says there were at least 3 separate incidents of abuse.
Even the first time, like, I hit her, I always knew it was wrong.
Marshawn says he regrets putting his hands on his girlfriend.
It's unfortunate we had to go through that domestic situation, which I still am remorseful for it.
He's getting help from the men's support group at Mad Dads.
If it says call rejected when I call the number,
Working on his anger issues,
it creates humility to fall.
rebuilding his life, and trying to restore trust.
We're never going to get back to loving each other the way we were. And now I'm fighting to always try to make amends for it.
Both Marshawn and his girlfriend are in counseling, working through their issues. We also have more stories in our special series on domestic violence, including a look at how police investigate domestic abuse cases. You'll find them all on our website, ccxmedia.org.
We had several very good high school boys soccer teams in the area this fall. On our Sports Jam show on CCX, we named our annual all-area teams in soccer, volleyball, and football. Here's Jay Wilcox with the best in the Northwest suburbs in boys soccer.
Off the turf or just
we'll start our Sports Jam boys soccer team in goal. Osseo's Kyle Getchie kept a young team in a lot of games. Widely regarded as one of the state's better keepers, Getchie earned all Northwest Suburban Conference honors, posting 2 shutouts and a 2.23 goals against average.
Getchie with the stop.
Our defenders include Maple Grove's number 8, Caleb Robinson. A second-team All-State pick, Robinson is a 4-year varsity player who is strong in the air and positions himself well. He also contributed some big goals in the postseason. Number 2, Miles Akibwe of Wayzata is a rising star as a sophomore. A second-team All-State pick who is a fantastic 1v1 defender, Akibwe was team MVP for the Trojans. Number 8, Noah Azira Mabera of Champlain Park capped a strong 4-year career for the Rebels. Tasked with shutting down the big names in the Northwest Suburban Conference, he earned all conference honors and chipped in with 2 goals and 2 assists. Number 1, Charlie Miller was one of the leaders of a strong defense that keyed a state tournament run for Maple Grove. An aggressive physical defender, Miller was an all-conference pick and chipped in with 2 goals and 3 assists. Our midfielders include number 8, Gabe Yenka of Park Center. The senior is a second-team All-State pick and was team MVP for a good Pirate squad. Yenka had 8 goals and 15 assists, and the Pirates' offense ran through him. Number 18, Ben Lidke of Wayzata is a versatile player who excels offensively and defensively. The All-Lake Conference pick had 4 goals and 1 assist and was the Trojans' captain. Number 6, Will Zaver was Maple Grove's team MVP. A big physical presence who also has great skill, Zaver had 9 goals and 7 assists while earning second-team All-State honors for the Section 8 champion Crimson. Number 21, Cullen McSweeney of Champlain Park earned second-team All-State honors. A holding midfielder, McSweeney contributed 9 goals and 8 assists for the Rebels. Rex number 37, Walsh Kern, played well as a junior, registering 10 goals and 6 assists while earning second-team All-State honors for the Section 5A runner-up Mustangs. Our forwards are led by number 7, Stevenson Lamar of Ticino Grace. Class A Mr. Soccer finalist Lamar had a tremendous season with 30 goals and 9 assists. He was team MVP and the MVP of the Senior Classic All-Star Game. Number 7, Eddie Swen is a first-team All-State pick for Park Center. A smooth, quick player, Swen had a team-high 19 goals with 7 assists. Number 12, Leo Kana, is a new name on the scene as a freshman for Champlain Park. He scored 15 goals with 11 assists and earned second-team All-State honors. Number 10, Chief Williams, is our third selection for Park Center. Strong and fast, the two-time All-State pick had 12 goals and a team-high 15 assists in helping the Pirates to a strong season. Number 7, Ralph Smits of Breck, makes our squad after a great sophomore year. The first-team All-State pick led the Mustangs in points, registering 11 goals and 18 assists. It's a strong team, the Sports Jam boys soccer team.
These guys had good seasons also. The honorable mention picks for boys soccer. To view more of our all-area teams from the fall, go to our website at ccxmedia.org, click on the Sports tab, and then go to the Sports Jam page.